I had to switch my glasses. I felt like these glasses are a little crooked. Maybe I'll put on my Pradas until I have to like read the comments because this shit gets a little. These glasses are really dark. Drop your ones in the chat. Drop the ones in the chat. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. I got court at 7:30. Not a criminal case. I'm fighting a ticket, baby. Let's get it going. Let's get it started. Keep dropping the ones. Let's see. Did I see enough ones? We got a few. Come on, drop the ones. Let me know you guys are attentive and ready. All right, I'm gonna just start. All right, guys, podcast number 166. Today we're going to be talking about why women don't want to be married. And there's a lot of different facets to that topic, right? I think that me coming from the position that I am, right? Obviously, I'm 30 years old, and a lot of men at my age too don't want to get married. But I think it's a little abnormal that we are now seeing women that don't want to get married, right? And I see this a lot. And you know what's so crazy? Because growing up, this was not something that I ever saw. And I apologize, guys, if my voice sounds a little hoarse. I do this thing now where it's like if somebody gets on my nerves, I'm gonna bark at them. I know it sounds crazy, right? But barking is not that bad. It's a solution for a lot of things because one, you're not arguing, you're not cursing each other out, you're not doing something crazy. And obviously, I was talking to my mom yesterday, and I started barking at her, and she hit me in the head with the broom, and it really hurt. But um, it diffused a lot of problems, and I think everybody laughed at the end. So that's my new thing. I'm just like, I forget. I was watching some kid online. I forget his name. I think his name is Speed. I forget. Some kid that be Speed. I thought it was really funny, but that does work. It may get you hit or slapped, depending on who you do that to. But yeah, so my voicemail sounded a little harsh. But back to the topic. We're talking about why women don't want to be married. And there's a lot of things that come out of it. There's a lot of different things that women say, and I think it's funny. I think it's a bit crazy. I also think it's a bit sad. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to get into the topic, and then of course, I'll try to make this a quick one, and then we could take some questions because I can't be here for hours, and I did get on a little late today. So if you know how the podcast goes, we'll play a song, and then right after that, we're going to get into the podcast. This is Jo Say It Ain't, and I hope everybody that has something to say in the comments, I hope that you guys can come up and actually speak. Request to come up and speak. Don't be shy. We don't really. I'm not big on the comment warriors, you know. So we're getting to the podcast right after this song. We'll make it fast, and then we'll take some questions.
Yeah, this is that big Hollywood shit, nigga. We copping that shit you wish you could get. You know what I'm saying? We ain't fucking around out here, man. Fuck you thought it was, nigga. You know how we doing, nigga? We doing back-to-back shit. Ain't no stopping, ain't no motherfucking breaks, nigga. This shit ain't for the weak. So tell them niggas, watch out. I'm gon' blow, ain't depending on them niggas. Yeah, I'm gon' roll. I ain't even tripping about the lies being told. That's what happens when you poppin' niggas say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Got the city on fire, but I'm still too cold. Always tell it like it is. Yeah, you know I'm too bold, but you still sleeping on me. Niggas say it ain't so. Say it ain't. Ain't so, got it figured out. Tried to be the nice guy, but now I'm on a different route. Probably got your girlfriend in my crib, just trying to dick her down. And best believe I kick her out if she don't plan on putting out. Yeah, cause I'm a dog, I'm a fucking dog. Got a lot of bitches, but I'm always trying to fuck some more. Yeah, so what you want from a nigga? I done found out the game, and they don't be loving niggas. I'm good, I'm all set. The way I do my own thing, yeah, they all vex. Out here calling shots like a motherfucking rep. Whole time y'all was playing checkers, I was playing chess. Man, this shit a mess. I'm gon' blow. Ain't depending on them niggas. Yeah, I'm gon' roll. I ain't even tripping about the lies being told. That's what happens when you poppin' niggas say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Got the city on fire, but I'm still too cold. Always tell it like it is. Yeah, you know I'm too bold, but you still sleeping on me. Niggas say it ain't so. Say it ain't.
All right, guys, that was Jo Say It Ain't. And today we're going to be talking about why women don't want to get married. And I think it's a very strange topic. And I think, and I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't have the level of religiosity that I did have, if I wasn't raised with the religion that I was raised with, I don't think I'd probably want to get married either. Um, but there are a lot of ways and techniques to avoid some of the problems that a lot of men want to, avoid. Um, and I think it's not normal that you see a lot of guys that want to get married, especially in the space that I am, which is why I don't consider myself red pill. Um, and I don't share a lot of ideologies that some of the red pill community share. But I think that marriage is one of the things that is best for, society. It's better for children. Um, and the one thing that I see is a lot of women don't want to be married, and we can understand where it comes from, but at some point you have to take responsibility for yourself, right? And I think one of the biggest thing is women think that they don't need men to live. They don't. And I think that's one of the craziest things. Now, if we're talking about not even talking about just having children and reproduction, right? If you say, "Well, I don't need a man to live. I don't need a man. I could go to a sperm bank and have a baby on my own." I think that thinking is very silly. I think it is very foolish. I think it is asinine, right? And not needing a man is very convenient until there are things that you're not capable of doing without the presence of a man, right? And I think that very nature puts women into a masculine frame. And just yesterday, when we had a woman on here and she was like, well, she's okay with not having a man. And we asked her, how did you come to that conclusion? And she said, well, I keep getting disappointed. So I'm okay with just living alone and being by myself. Right. And you usually, if you on closer inspection, you see there's usually a reason as to why a lot of these women think that. Now, obviously, there's this narrative in society that women don't need men, and I think that what you need to understand is we need each other, right? We need each other. And I would say a woman's a little more dependent on a man than a man would be with a woman, right? Obviously, you need to be social. You need each other for affection. Obviously, these are basic things that you need each other for. But to say that you don't need a man, I just think that it's just it's just crazy to me. And it's crazy. And these are one of the contributing reasons as to why women don't want to be married. And then the women that say they want to be married, right? I don't think they really do. Like, for example, you have a lot of women that say that, okay, well, I want a man that is making above a certain amount, right? And a lot of these men you don't have access to. Well, according to the IRS in 2022, 1% of family homes, 1% out of all family homes in America make $400,000 a year or more. I think that equates to like maybe, was it like 50, 60,000 a month or some craziness like that? Or 20, I'm not 100% sure. 1%, you don't even know most of these people. You don't even know most of these people that you're asking for, right? According to Pew Research Center, studies show that 70 to 80% of women want a man that can provide for them. When your average salary in America is anywhere from, well, according to IRS, last year, 2022, the average salary in America was anywhere from 48 to $54,000 a year. When a lot of women, according to some of these studies, want a man that's going to take care of them. So you want a man that falls into the 1%. Now, what is that an indicator of? That's a man that is a high earner. And I don't tell anybody that they can't have them. But the thing is, a lot of you don't qualify for those kind of men. Like when I talk to my clients and say, well, what kind of girls do you want? They straight up, I'm gonna be honest with you, they want bad bitches. I want a girl that's a 10. I want her to look good. I want her to be bad. I'm gonna take care of everything. And a lot of clients that I do have that are older than me that seek my help or around my age who have a hard time dealing with women, they want the best of the best. And a lot of these women with really, really high standards aren't necessarily the best of the best. And that's not to put anyone down. It's very simple. You attract what you are. right? Not what you want. Like if you want to attract something, you have to first become that thing, right? Like say for example, when they say, oh well, a guy wants to become a millionaire. All right, well, you speak to I've taken coaching from millionaires and they say, well, you have to do the things that millionaires do. Wake up at 5 in the morning. Make sure you're focusing on a craft. Make sure you're every day sitting an hour and doing the things that will put you in that field so you can start making that money. But I don't think women do that. A lot of women say, well, when you ask them to rank themselves, oh, what do you rank yourself 1 out of 10? I'm a 10. So if you're a 10, that means you have no room for improvement. And if you're not currently attracting those kind of men, then that just means you can't obtain that man. Because if you're a 10 and you know those high earning men want 10s, then where's your room for improvement? And I think a lot of people get offended by when I say this, but I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to be realistic about it. Right. Right. And I think that there's a difference. And even when you say you want a man that's going to take care of you, 15% of men, according to the IRS, make $100,000. 15% of homes make $100,000 in the United States. What? They want to, they 15% of men. I remember the first month that I made $10,000. It was great. And I had a lot of money to spend. But I think only because it was my first time doing it. Obviously, those things increased, right? But $10,000, I don't think it's enough. $10,000 a month or more, $100,000 a year. I still don't think it's enough to take care of a family. I told myself I won't get married until I have at least $1 million saved up in the bank. Because I tell guys all the time, and this is I know most guys aren't gonna do this, but I tell guys all the time, you don't do 50-50. You should be taking care and paying for most things. And what I see, and according to statistics, half of marriages in the United States, they are divorces. They're over money. And even when you take care of most things and you allow your wife to, you know, pay less, you are gonna run into less problems. But when you look at some of the standards, some of these people, their standards are so high and it's so unrealistic, right? You want a man that's a high earner, but you don't even know these people. You probably will never run into these people. Just like when I said yesterday, you know, women don't want good men. And that's another reason why you could say, well, women just don't want to be married. They don't. Because why is it that when a man says he has standards and boundaries, he is now considered misogynistic. He's now considered that, oh well, um, I'll never do that. If a man says, okay, cool, we can get married, I'll take care of you, I'll do everything, but I don't want other men texting and talking to other men is out of the question. There were literally people on here arguing, why can't a man have a best friend? So if a man says, oh, well, I'm going to take care of you, but I have these standards, the guy best friend is out of the question, right? The guy best friend is out of the question. So, and then a lot of women were like, no, I'm not giving that up. I'm not giving that up. But why is that? Like, why is that such a problem? Women have a lot of standards. Women have a lot of standards. And then a lot of women will say, okay, well, I think that you know, he has to be this height. He has to have he got to give up all his hoes. He got to be monogamous. He got to be loyal. He got to do all of this. But then it's like, well, okay, okay, that's fine. And a lot of men will what they'll do, they will come into what she has to say, they will conform. But then when a man has standards, it's a problem. Why is it a problem? Why is it a problem? Because good men come with standards. Good men come with standards. Good men are going to say, I want this. I want that. I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm not going to tolerate that. Because I know when I wasn't trying to be on some straight up and honest shit and I was just talking to girls, I'm like, well, okay, you know, oh, you got a best friend. Oh, that's cool. That's okay. Because I wasn't going to never take her serious. And I wasn't trying to take her serious. Right? I wasn't trying to take her serious because I know, okay, yeah, she looked good, but I talk to other girls that look just as good. And I ain't tripping about her best friends because I ain't really taking her serious. No way. And but women don't understand that. Relationships are about trade-offs, right? You have standards, and that's okay. I never said there's nothing wrong with women having standards. I want a man taller than 6'2". Okay, that's fine, but good luck running into it. Less than 3.9% of society is taller than 6 feet. Your average height in America is 5'8", anywhere from 5'8" to 5'9". It doesn't matter if you want that man. You're not gonna really. Chances are you're not gonna really run into that man like that. And if you do, you're probably gonna be sharing them because everybody wants it. The men that are in scarcity usually have the most options, right? But I don't think a lot of people think like that. So when I say, oh, well, a woman doesn't necessarily want to be married, I don't think women want to be married, because whenever we talk about, oh, certain things that are probability, and the things that are, if we consider being realistic, and saying that, well, these are your probability of having it. Not saying you can't never have it, but it just may be a little harder to come across. So when a man says, okay, women don't really want to be married because their standards are unrealistic. Everybody's saying don't get married right away. Wait until your 20s. But these are your prime years. You don't think it's silly to just give your prime years away? Yeah, and that's one of the things, and that's one of the things, everybody think they have options. Most men, they don't want to take you serious. They just trying to have fun. Is that really an option? If a guy will never wife you, if he just wants to hit it and quit it, if he's just trying to look for a quick nut, is that options really? A lot of women do think they have options, and I get it. Like, I've talked to girls, and I've seen, like, they'll show me their Instagram. They'll show me their dating apps, and like, girls that are like hard sixes, that I would consider hard six, have like 8,000 likes. Crazy. And I'm just like, holy shit. I wouldn't even date you in real life, and you got more options than me. But I can promise you, probably more than half those men wouldn't even take them serious. And I think there's this misconception of where you get a lot of men, and you're mistaking that from actually viable, real options, versus men that just are trying to hit it and quit it, right? And I don't think women think like that. Another thing is, women are not trying to compete. They don't. Oh, why I would never compete for a man. I would never compete for a man. Okay, that's fine, but you'll compete for your job, you'll compete for school, right? And when I say compete, these are not crazy things. These are things like, well, like, um, will you cook for me? Well, this last girl did that. Well, not even a girl that I may be talking to, just talking about a certain standard, talking about a certain standard. And women be like, I ain't competing for no man. Fuck out of here. I ain't doing that. Why all this pride? Why? And then, because listen, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with you. And I know you're not gonna like it. I know you ain't gonna like it, but listen, there are a lot of women that are. We have more options as far as women go, because there's more options, there's more women in the world. But if you're on a dating app, if you're yeah, it may seem as if you have more options. But look, and this is what I'm starting to see. There are a lot of I get a lot of older women that are in their 30s that look good. They look good. They don't necessarily look like they're in their um in their 20s. But a lot of older women are willing to like do stuff. Like, it's been like the last like 5 years that I've been single, that I see women that are like, if I come in their house, take off my jacket, take off my shoes, massage my feet, cook for me, I hand me food. I'm done. You done with your food? Take the food. Literally king treatment. Because women outnumber men in the world. So what you're not willing to do, another woman will. But and I guess you could say the same thing about men too. But the only thing is, a lot of these women, they don't really have the mentality for marriage. They don't have the mentality for marriage. And my thing is, look, a lot of women be 22, 28, 29, and 30 years old, and you'll date somebody for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you'll do this throughout your 20s, even if it's just a relationship, but you never date for marriage. You'll spend 7% of your life. Because if you're 28 or around 30, you spend 2 years or 3 years dating somebody, that's almost like 10% to 7% of your life dating somebody. You'll waste your time with somebody, never talk about marriage, never date for marriage, never tell somebody you want to be married. And then when you get older, you're realizing, oh shit, I just wasted all this time. Because you think you're running out of time, but this is the trap in society. This is the trap. The trap is, okay, wait till you get in your 30s to get married. But then your standards are really high because I'm pretty sure you worked very hard. I'm pretty sure you worked very hard to get where you're at. And let's say if you're making above average, let's say if you're making 70K, 80K, maybe 100K, which most people don't make. But according to statistics, a lot more women are starting to make this money. Now your standards are high. Why are your standards so high? And the question is, why is that a problem? But here's the problem, because when you say that I make 100K a year, or I make 80K a year, 70K a year, I want a man that's making at least that or more. Okay, well, when you do that, your options go down, because the IRS just said, according to the IRS of 2022, 15% of homes make $100,000 a year. So then now it gets a little harder, because I know women say, I'm not settling for less. I'm not settling for less. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Okay, that's fine. Like, there was a girl on the panel yesterday. She said, well, I'll think about maybe getting married when I'm 30. Well, how do you know you're going to be able to get married exactly at the age of 30? Because let's be real, it takes time. Because people are not just saying, oh, let's just get married. Although I'm with that. Like, I'm with, okay, well, because I'm older now. I get marriage offers every month. I get marriage offers. And you got to understand, I'm Muslim, so I believe in marriage, even though I haven't been married. But I would also like to get to know somebody before I get married, right? But I do, and it's the truth. And what's so crazy? I try to do the right thing. Like, I try to do the right thing. Like, I try not to take advantage of women. I be honest with women, and I tell them, hey, listen, this is what it is. I'm not currently dating, and I tell women straight up, like, I'd be like, let's be friends first. I disqualify myself, because I'm not gonna like sit here, and it's so easy. I could easily lie. And say, hey, you know what, baby, I'm feeling you so sexy. And if she's sexy, I might tell her, but yeah, I'd be like, you're so sexy. Like, you look so good. Damn, I want you all to myself. You know what? It's me and you. It's just me and you. Fuck all them other bitches. I'll block all of them right now, right? You look so good. I'll kiss you right now through the phone. Like, I could easily soup you up, but I'm honest and I tell the truth. But it's like, I just feel like there's so many women out there that are just willing to just be wives and be good to you, that like, and I'm trying to think that, like, why don't the younger women do this? Why don't women in their 20s do this? Because chances are, I'ma just shit. In another year or two, I'm probably gonna be married. But my question is, why don't women want to be married? Why don't women want to be married? And one of the biggest problems that I have, is that women are okay with dying alone. That's the craziest shit that I've ever heard. What's up with that? So many women say, oh, if I got standards, and if the man don't meet these standards, I'm okay with dying alone. Seek help. Seek help. A girl on the panel said that yesterday. She said, I gave up on love. I'm willing to die alone. Bro, that's crazy. You have to seek therapy. I can even understand if a woman was married, that she got divorced. She went down the right path. She got married. She did what she was supposed to do. She didn't have children out of wedlock, right? And then women say, well, I'll go get a husband. I don't need a husband. I'll go have a baby. I'll go to a sperm bank and just have me a baby. You understand that statistically, women and men who raise kids together, a two-parent home, usually raise better, is healthy for the child. They raise more successful children. And single parent mothers statistically are the worst at raising children, especially men. Because women are nurturing and caring and loving, but a man brings structure. He brings structure and morality. Things you don't do, things you do, discipline, right? Like a mother say, "Oh, well, my mom a little different." But if I grew up fighting, right, and a lot of mothers were like, "I hate to see my son fight. I don't want him to box. I don't want him to do that." But a man say, "No, he gonna learn to fight. He got to learn discipline. He has to learn to defend himself. These type of things bring men structure. Most women ain't gonna think about that. They're nurturing, and it's nothing wrong with nurturing, but you need that balance. But a lot of women talking about, oh, I don't need a man. I'm okay with dying alone. Even before that, I got to try to download the panel from the live. There was a girl saying that, she was like, well, I didn't have a parent growing up, so because I didn't have a parent growing up, um, I'm gonna make sure that cycle continues with my child. And the father wanted to date her. He wanted to be her girlfriend. He wanted to marry her. All that good shit. And she said, "Nah, I'm good." He was just a play toy, and the play toy got me knocked up. As soon as the child old enough, I'm gonna drop off at her dad's house and I'm gonna leave. Yo, and this is real. I have it. It's a recorded live. I'm gonna post it on my page. Like the shit that people say is crazy. And then when even women start to rationalize and say, "Oh, there's no benefits from marrying a man," are you crazy, bro? Like what? Like it's just madness to me. And then when a man says, "Oh, I want a woman to serve me. I want a woman to be a good wife to me. I want a woman to massage the servant." Oh, you want a slave? No, fool. Because when a woman does do those things for me, when a woman does want to serve me, that just makes me want to take care of you more. And when you know how to do, besides cooking, obviously sexual stuff, we stuck for the law. You shouldn't have sex outside of marriage. But like, some people gonna do it. But when you could do that, coupled with cooking and cleaning and that shit, you gonna make me want to pay your rent. You gonna make me want to do it. Listen, I ain't no simp, but I do believe in love, right? So I'd be like, damn, like she doing all this shit. So every time I come over her house, it feel like a vacation. I don't even feel like shit. I don't even feel like leaving. I come over here. I wake up, breakfast. You want? Hey, baby, what you want? You want breakfast? You want some head? What you want? You whatever you want, you got it. He be like, damn, this shit is crazy. You know what? Let me just leave some money for her. Let me cash app her some money. You be on the way home driving like, damn, she amazing. Let me send her some money. But like that's the thing. Women don't think that, oh, I gotta preserve my freedom at all costs. You're stupid. I'm sorry, it's stupid. Because who told you? Who told you that you had to be so independent when there's men willing to take care of you and do all these things? That's stupid. That's stupid. I think the feminist movement and I think that women's rights is one of the most silliest shit ever. Who told you you had to fight for rights when men were willing to take care of you? All you had to do is have your way, stay home, cook some food, do some basic shit. Because some men are a lot more simple and easier to please than others, and you get taken care of. But then when y'all start making your money, oh, I'm getting tired of taking care of myself. I want a man to take care of me. You done make life complicated for yourself. Now you making all this money. Now a man got to match you, right? Now your man got to match you. Now your man got to make more than you, and you got to spend time trying to find this perfect man with all your high standards, right? There's no trade off, and I don't think men have a hard time trying to take care of women anyway. They don't. But the problem comes where you say, "Oh well, I'm not. You could take care of me, but I ain't no servant." Like it's so silly. Do you not think relationships are trade offs? Do you think you're gonna find 1,000% perfect with every single little thing? No, you're not. You're not. Some men are ambitious. Some men will do it. Some men will do it, but you're not gonna find a perfect thing with everybody, right? And that's my whole point. But anyway, guys, let's end this podcast off because I can't stay on much longer. And I'm gonna take some questions for you guys. So send your request up, and then I'll let you guys talk your opinion and say what you got to say. This should be an interesting one. And I'm not going to play the music because I am really pressed for time. So we're just going to end the podcast off here and then we'll start talking to some people. Alrighty then. How you doing? What's your name? Where you from?
Yo, what's good? Hey, I'm Justo from Houston, Texas.
Okay, Houston in the house. What's the deal, man?
Chilling, man. So I ended up on the live, but real quick, man, I gotta ask, like, you know, do I mean, no, it's no offense. I'm saying, like, are your parents together, or is your mom, were you raised by your mom?
Well, my parents, yeah, my parents were together until I was 18. But both of my parents are remarried though. So I was damn near a grown man. So I was raised with both of my parents in the house. But now both of my parents are they both of them remarried.
Got you. Well, my parents did divorce as well when I was in third grade, and I would say, from personal experience, I mean, no offense to my dad, love him, but my mom is a lot better off without it than with him. I said to say I think as part of your your argument, I would feel your argument a lot more when you say things like that, like basically why would a woman want to die alone? But I think you might be giving our gender a little bit too much credit. Not every dude's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Not every dude's a good husband. Not every dude's a good, a lot of women have tried. I don't think they wake up or were born and just said, I'm going to die alone. I think they've tried and failed, and it's their experiences that's making them think, you know what, I ain't gonna lie, I'd rather just thug this whole out alone. I got friends, I got a couple cousins, family, and I just, so I feel like your argument, I would definitely agree with you because I got friends. That shit, and they all in relationship. You know what I'm saying? They're my niggas, but I couldn't, if any of their girls walked away today, I'd go, shit, y'all ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I think to say the argument of like, why the hell would they want to die alone? Like, what's wrong with them? I think that argument is great if you assume that every nigga out here is a good nigga, which is not the case. And so, and like I said, I'm not speaking. I'm coming from. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. Like when I hear about what my mom was going through with my dad prior to like me growing up, like, bro, I don't know how you ain't leave the nigga sooner. Like, I'm glad I'm here. Shout out to him. But like, you know what I'm saying? So I just think. What's your thoughts on that? You know what I mean? Like, as far as the argument of like,
okay. So look, you say that your dad wasn't a good guy.
Wasn't a good husband.
Okay, wasn't a good husband. So why are you generalizing your dad with all men?
No. I'm not. I was just thinking from my experience.
You're because that's what you did. You generalized. You said all men are not good men. That's first and foremost.
My friends.
All right, but what you said, all men ain't good men.
Well, because my dad and my friends are 4 out of the 5 men that exist.
Okay, but that's not what you said. You said all men ain't good men, and you're only okay. Listen. Let me talk. Gotcha. You're only referencing one man for your mom. You said all men ain't good, and cool. Not all men ain't good, but nobody wants to be alone. Just because your mom is alone and she may be alone, I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to be. And what you have to understand is that's a decision you make. That's something that you decide to accept, right? And you said your mom and dad were together. What I'm talking about, women that are not even with a man and just saying automatically, if a man doesn't meet my standards, I'm okay with that. Right? Has your mom ever tried dating after your dad?
If she did it privately. I've never ever seen a man, never seen a boyfriend, never seen nothing. And to this day, she lives by herself.
Okay. Do you think your mom wants to be alone? Have you ever asked her that?
At first, she definitely, post marriage had took some adjustment, but as of right now, this woman loves her company and is in the crib type shit.
And that's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you. I asked you, did you ask your mom does she want to be alone?
Okay. Is she
be honest. Be honest.
I haven't phrased it like that because that's a weird question. I don't think nobody's gonna ask somebody like, do you want to be alone? But I've asked her.
It's not.
I've asked her like, do you get lonely? Do you wish, you know what I'm saying, you ask somebody in the house? And she's like, to be honest, like I've gotten used to it. It's like I'm cool with it. Like I like this shit. And I'm not gonna lie, my personal experience, because from third grade through now, I've grown up with just a single mom who wasn't dating, wasn't looking for a man, was okay with her own company. I personally, right now, I'm 27. I'm good with my own company. Like I don't need to be in a relationship. Like right now, I live alone, my own apartment, and I thoroughly enjoy my company. I still, I have like, some hookups here and there, like, but I in general, I'd be wanting my own space. I'd be like, what I'm saying, get out of my crib type shit. So I think there are people who are okay with being alone. I told my friends the other day, I might not ever get married. You know what I mean? And for somebody to assume, like, if a woman said the same thing as me, that what's wrong with her? She's crazy. She's miserable. I'm like, some people like just kind of dipping, being on their own type shit. So I think. Okay,
look, but still, that's my point though. That's my point. You don't know if your mom ever dated. You don't know if your mom ever tried to date. And the point is, you still didn't answer that question. And I'm pretty sure, and that still makes my point, because you still weren't able to answer the question. Did you ever ask your mom, do you want to be alone? And nobody wants to be alone. And I promise you, nobody wants to be alone. Let me finish. Nobody wants to be alone. And even you said, okay, yeah, you're single. And that's different. You're a man. You can have your space. But the issue is, where you have people talking about they want to be alone. Your mom has had a child. She had a child. She has you. You could let, okay, 5, even more. You come into this world, you want to leave a piece of yourself. Your mom has tried a relationship. She's been with your dad, right? And I'm pretty sure from third grade, how old are you now?
27.
27. I'm pretty sure your mom did almost go almost 30 years, almost 20 years without talking to anyone. As a heterosexual woman, I promise you she tried dating. And I can promise you that nobody wants to die alone. She may have accepted it. And you, especially when you say you can't even, you haven't asked her that question, we got to be real about it. And with you, okay, cool, that's fine. You can be alone and you still hook up with girls here and there. But I know me personally, and I know most people personally don't want to leave this life without leaving a piece of themselves. Because what, you're not even serving your purpose as a human being. That's literally your biological makeup is for you to reproduce, right? So I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. And cool. Yes, your mom, but there's a lot of questions that you couldn't answer when it comes to that. If you never seen a guy ever from third grade, that sounds crazy to me. But that most likely your mom is dated. Have you ever asked your mom about that?
She may have, because I mean, at the end of the day, like, she's just a real respectful. She's not about to just be, even if she wouldn't like short in front of her kids, but as in like she'll date privately. She's not gonna be like one of those moms that like is introducing man after man. If she dated, she's kept that completely like separate from parenting us type shit. You know what I mean? And it hasn't brought nobody to the house. But I'm just saying, as of right now, I mean, I could ask her. It's just something we never really talked about. If I was like, I could ask her right now, are you dating? Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. But just in general, as far as
my thing is, hey, my thing is at 27, how do you not know if your mom is dating?
So everybody's like relationship with their parent is different. I mean, if my mom specifically has kept whether or not she's dating outside of like her conversation with her children, so that she's just a mom does, then that's just what we do. Like I said, that's what I'm saying. To each his own. A lot of people have different setups, different scenarios, and different things that they want in their life. So
how could you come to your mom's? And I get it. Sounds like you're coming to your mom's defense, but it sounds like you don't really know that aspect of your mom. You don't. That's a part of your mom that you don't know.
Facts, but at the same time,
so how can you say some of the things you're saying? Like you don't even know your mom on that level.
Okay, because what I'm saying is whether or not I know about her daily, I'm just saying right now she lives alone.
Right.
And God forbid, she lives alone and she just doesn't need the company of a man. She doesn't need to.
You don't know that though. Well, and you admitted that you don't know that.
I have family members that live with her.
Okay.
So as far as or be at the house all the time. So as far as is she in a relationship? Does she? What I'm going off the things you said. As far as what nobody wants to die alone. Women, why
they don't.
If you could do this, do that. But I'm just saying. And really, when I ask you a question, so you said I'm generalizing all dudes is not good dudes, even though I was just telling you that I know 5 of them that are good dudes. So that means in this world, I can say that not all dudes are good dudes. As far as
but I'm going off based on what you said. You said not all good dudes are good dudes, but then you said I'm referencing my dad. That's not what you said at first,
I said my dad and my friends. As far as like just the type of husband that you described as like a woman should just be, how dare she not want to take one of these that are available? I'm asking you too. Why are you like making the assumption that all dudes are worth women wanting to spend?
I never said that though. I never said all dudes are worth wanting to be with. But my thing is, this is the problem. There has to be some structure, especially, and I'm assuming you're black.
Absolutely.
Do you know only 20% of black women are married in the United States? That's the lowest amongst any race.
We are a minority though.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I think in the 1940s or 50s, I think what was it? What was the arrow? They just talked about it earlier. It was at one point in America, we were the most married. It doesn't matter if we're a minority. That has no correlation with our marriage rate.
Why I think it does though is that I believe black people are about 14% of the country. Last time I looked at the demographic, if we're 14% of the country, to say that means women are even a small percent. Black women are a smaller percent of the country, maybe 7%, because they're. If I assume that it's 50% women, 50% men in our 14% that we make up, to say that 7% of the women of the country aren't married, it's like they're not the biggest population, the biggest pool to even look at for comparison to.
It doesn't matter. According to census, the Census Bureau, we're the least married.
I know, but that's like okay, but I guess what I'm saying is that's like me looking up what indigenous Indian Americans, indigenous Native Americans percent of something and something, like they're a minority. We can't look at them and
why can't we?
Because put like this. You're saying black women are least married.
Yeah.
Black women also are some of the least existing in the country. So to say that
it doesn't matter, because when you take a poll, let me show you how polls work. When you take a poll, you're looking at it. So if I say 20% of black people are married, right? And then I say 30% of Indian people are married. You take the complete population number and then you make it even. You say, well, according to this grand total of number of people, this percentage is married. If you take whether that percentage be smaller or bigger, it doesn't matter. This is still the makeup of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, I do. Hold on. Diva said I'm about to learn how percentages work. I'm gonna say this. Obviously, clearly, very college educated. I know how percentages work, but I guess what I'm saying is this: put it like this. If you told me, I guess what I'm saying is I don't think black women. I'm speaking for them. I might be wrong. Y'all let me know in the comments. I don't really think they care how they clock in comparison to white women, Spanish women that they could care less to be like. So I don't think when you go, can you believe y'all are less this than these other women? It's like, okay, who gives a fuck? We don't even want to be like them in the first place. That's what I want to say. So I don't. That's what I'm saying. To compare, that's like comparing somebody. That's like comparing a truck driver to a basketball player and then going, shoot, you can't shoot hoops as much as the guy drives trucks. I don't have to give a fuck about how well I'm doing in that category. So, like I said, you're talking about black women don't want to die alone. I mean, you're saying
I didn't say black women. I didn't say black women don't want to die alone. You're making this about black women.
My bad. Yeah, I am, because I think as a black person, I just feel like when we're talking.
Yeah, I think you came on here. I think you came on here thinking about your mom, trying to defend your mom. No. I think that I honestly think that what the case was, but in reality, you don't know your mom on that level, and it's no reason for you to take offense to it, right? Because when I asked you about it, there were a lot of questions. There was a lot of questions that you couldn't answer. There was a lot of questions that that you weren't able to answer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that you're wrong for wanting to defend your mom. I would defend my mom too, right? I would defend her too, but I just think that you having this conversation, I don't think you was ready for it. I don't think that there was a lot of things that you couldn't answer. Because if you say that I never see my mom dating, I think your mom did a good job at keeping those things separate. But you never even asked your mom, was she happy being alone? Obviously, she may have accepted it. But you know what I'm saying?
I guess okay, but I get, and the thing is, I do think before I hopped on, part of what you said was the feminist thing is crazy, and to me, I do consider myself a feminist. So in general, I knew we weren't going to agree on some things, but I guess I want to say this is that I just want to say this is like you're saying I'm making a lot of assumptions, but I also do think there's a lot of assumptions in some of your points, and we don't have to try to rewire how the person thinks, but I just want to point out that there might be some bias in some of the things I'm saying, but there also is a lot of bias in what you're saying, which was my original point.
What do you think was bias?
I wanted to hop on here because you said, why would women want to die alone when there's so many good men that they could be out here, pretty much playing their gender role for, who would, take care of them, keep them to, provide them structure and morals.
Right.
You know how many immoral men there are out here?
But then see, you going back to that's what I said. You're going back to generalizing men. But my thing is, you're not a woman, though. You don't date men. So unless you do, but I'm pretty sure you don't date men. So my thing is, how are you making that? Like, how do you, like, you're victimizing women and you're standing up for women, but you're not in the perspective of a woman. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to understand how you coming with this perspective.
It's because my phone's tripping, but I pretty much take myself out of. Wait, can you hear me or no?
I'm listening.
Hello?
I'm listening.
Because I try to look at stuff objectively. Like when I'm speaking, I see both sides, and always. But my first name is Justice. That literally means fairness. Like I'm just looking at okay, put myself in this person's shoes, put myself in that person's shoes. I feel like from your perspective, you're only looking at your point of. I'm just more so I'm playing devil's advocate for the other side. I see what you're saying. If there was a bunch of good dudes out there lining up to wed every unmarried, single woman, then yeah, why wouldn't they want to explore that? But I was speaking for women who just might not be interested in that, and for you to go, well, in my opinion, for you to go like, that's just crazy. What's wrong with them? Like, this is I can't believe this. I'm just like,
well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of the podcast. I'm asking, why don't women want to be married? Why? And that's my question. That's my question. It's not always a debate. It's a question for me. I'm asking, why don't women want to be married? And my thing is, you, and it's okay, you could be a feminist, you could come up and defend a woman.
So I am in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, oh God, ATL, let's get it
Yes.
started.
Oh yes, it's real out
How's
here.
how's the weather out there?
Oh, it was beautiful today.
What was the weather?
Oh, it was like in the 70s.
Oh, I mean, that's better than New York weather because it's been pretty cold. Well, New York is always going to be cold. It's crazy out here.
Where are you at?
I'm in Long Island,
Ooh,
New York.
How is it?
It's nice. It's a little, I feel like it's always a little different because the weather's really bipolar. Sometimes it's 60, sometimes it's 70, sometimes it could jump to 20, 30. It's like all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
So I never really know how to dress up to go outside. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part. But so tell me why don't women want to be married? Help me understand this.
For me personally,
Okay.
romance isn't a priority.
Okay.
So I feel like we live in a Western society and people feel like you have to, that is a goal in life. It's so much more to life besides having sex with somebody.
Okay.
And
I'm not disagreeing with that though. I'm not saying that your relationships have to be romantic. I'm not saying that you got to have sex. And I think relationships more or less are arrangements. But the problem is it's the trade-off in which I'm talking about. Obviously, this is a conversation for people that are heterosexual and they like the opposite sex, right? But my question is, and from your experience is different from the general experience, right? Because you may be unique in a certain way. And just by that first line coming out of your mouth says that you may see things in a different manner. And I don't necessarily disagree. But why don't women want to be married? Are you married? Do you want to be married?
I do not want to be married.
Okay. And may I ask you, why is that? Why do you take that stance?
I truly like I love my life. I enjoy life right now, how it is. I am centered and focused on my own well-being in life. And I see life so much differently. I don't date either. So
you don't date at all?
No, not at all.
How old are you?
28 years young.
Okay. Okay, you reaching close to the 30s.
Yeah.
May I ask you, why don't you date? Why don't you want to?
Just hearing all of the verbiage online and how a lot of people think about dating and a lot of debates and a lot of fights. I personally it's looking like a lot of people are stressed out in the dating world over there. They're looking really miserable. They're fighting about who's paying this, going 50-50 on this.
Right.
It's just it looks exhausting. I really feel bad.
But why are you not dating though? So you're not dating because you don't like what other people are going through? You're not trying for your own experience?
I'm not dating because I don't want to be married. It's no point. It's no point to waste people's time, waste people's money. A lot of people's crying about money, just spending money on women. So why would I even want?
So no, what I'm trying to ask you, you say you're not dating because you don't want to be married, but then you keep bringing up other people. Is this a belief that you share? You think it'll be a problem if a man has to pay? Do you want a man to pay? Like, what is your? Give me a list. Can you give me 3 reasons as to why you don't want to be married?
Why I don't want to be married? Because I love sleeping alone.
Okay.
Why I don't want to be married? I don't want kids.
Okay.
And why I don't want to be married is because I want to travel the world.
Okay. Do you think that you're going against your biological nature? Do you not want to have a lineage? Do you not want to have a piece of your life in this world before you're gone?
Oh, I will leave plenty of things behind, like books.
No. I'm not talking about things. I'm talking about a person. Because if, say, for example, God forbid, I hope you live amazing long life, right? I hope you live a wonderful life and I hope you get to travel all the places you want to travel. Let's say if you died tomorrow and 30, 40, 50 years from now, how would anybody even know you existed? You have no lineage to tell on your story. Who are you? That's what I'm asking. Why don't you want to leave a piece of you, your DNA behind?
Because I love my kids so much that I would not want to bring them in this suffering, in this chaotic world.
Wait, how that makes sense? Please help me understand that statement.
Since you think that everybody should have a little human,
No, whoa. I didn't say I think that everybody should have a little human. Don't put words in my mouth because I didn't say that. Now,
biology.
I said no. No. Time out. I said that I think everybody should have a little human. Those words came out of my mouth.
Oh no, I said that.
Oh, okay. So don't speak for me because I didn't say that.
Okay. So
I said, do you think going against your biological nature? And then I asked, why? Why don't you want to leave a piece of you? I asked a question. I didn't say that. So let's get it right.
So you think a little human is a piece of me?
I said your DNA biologically. Why don't you want to feed into your biological makeup? This is what I'm asking you. Why?
Because it's having a person, a little human is not mine. Having a kid is not my possession. I don't own them. They have nothing to do with my legacy.
I didn't. Oh my God. First of all, your legacy does come from you. You realize that, right?
A kid is not my legacy. No.
So how, oh my God, how would you carry on your legacy if you don't have anyone to carry on your name, ma'am?
So now can I tell you, like I just said, because of books, because of TV shows, because of the content that will always be here that I have.
But
I don't care.
But the question was your biological makeup, right? You said a possession. I'm not equating your child to a possession. I'm not equating your child to a book. What I'm saying is, why don't you want to procreate? Why don't you want to leave a lineage? Is what I'm taking. Not a lineage in books, not writing. You're not going to be an Aristotle, right? You're not going to be one of the great philosophers and thinkers because I haven't heard of you yet. If I haven't heard of you now, more than likely my children's children aren't going to hear of you in 30, 50 years. And I say that with all respect, and I'm not trying to disrespect you, but why don't you want to procreate is my question.
Because I simply don't want kids.
And you don't want kids, you don't want to be married. So do you think that that is normal though? Do you think that most people don't want to procreate, most people don't want to be married? And
I
no,
personally don't care what normal is.
no, that's not what I asked you. I asked you, do you think that's normal? I didn't ask you what you cared about.
Yes, it's very normal to follow your own way of thinking. It's very normal to think for yourself. Yes.
Okay. So you just don't want to have any kids. You don't want to have anything. You don't want to bring any meaning to your life because you just want to be alone. Now, I don't think that's normal. And I don't think that according what is it called? The I forget the what is it? The DSM. It's something that psychologists use, right? I was just reading up on it. I think that people who do think like that should seek therapy because I think it is a natural inclination for most human beings to want to have a family, especially women, to want to have kids, right? And I think that you sound just a tad bit bitter, and I want to understand why though. Like, why is it? Why is this anti-children? Why don't you just want to, like, why do you just want to be alone?
I'm never alone. I have friends, I have family, I have business partners. I have so much love around me.
Okay.
I'm never alone.
Okay. Well, you know what? I wish you the best, and I hope that maybe one day you'll reconsider. And I hope that you haven't given up on dating. I know the last girl who came on here and said that she wanted to die alone was her real reason. When we uncovered that she suffered a series of heartbreak and that she had a whole bunch of failed dates, and that was the reason why. So I hope
I don't even so I just want to add that in there because a lot of people get that so confused. Some people just opt out. Some people don't even participate. So my heart can never truly be broken if I don't ever even participate in the games that's being played.
Who's playing games though?
The whole dating is a game.
How would you know if you don't date?
Because I'm an observer. All I have to do is observe.
You can't observe if you're not going on dates with people. if you're not dating, you can't speak on other people's experiences if you haven't done it.
Dating is truly just an event. Y'all take it way too seriously. Dating is supposed to be fun. Dating is supposed to be easy. It's just supposed to flow. These requirements is foolish. These requirements and these standards.
So people are not supposed to have standards. So people are supposed to accept anything.
You can have whatever you want in life. You can have morals. You can have integrity. That is good. Most people don't even know themselves. That's why they are just dating because they're bored.
But what if they have a level? What if they have a level of religiosity? What if they do have morals? What if they have a moral compass and said, "I'm dating to marry"? Right? Like majority of the world do practice religion. The people who have your ideal and your mindset are a small minority. So what about those people? You think that they're dating because they're bored?
Most people are just hopping from relationship to relationship and just want to have sex with people.
That's not what I said. That's not what I just asked you.
I'm answering the
question. Okay, you're gonna elaborate. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just don't like.
No. I don't like anything, but just say what you're gonna say. You said most people are hopping from relationship from sex to sex. Okay.
Relationship.
Right.
They're just doing that because, like you said, it's normal.
I said having sex is normal.
You said dating is normal.
No. I said to procreate is normal. To want to leave a lineage is normal. That's what I said was normal. See, you have a hard time relaying messages, and it sounds like you're putting words in my mouth for now.
Oh, I hear things maybe a little bit different.
Clearly. Clearly.
Observe your surroundings and observe people. But honestly, I wish you the best as well. I hope you find your wife that you are looking for.
I found several, but we're gonna see which one I choose.
Oh yeah, women are beautiful.
1,000%.
I understand why y'all want to be married so bad.
I don't want to be married bad. It's the walls is closing in around me.
But I understand why men don't want to be alone. A lot of men fear being alone. Why do you fear being alone?
Well, it's not men that are saying that they want to be alone. It's women. I don't know a lot of men. I don't know a lot of men that are saying I want to be alone. It's only women up here. It's only you and the women in the comments saying that they want to be alone.
No, why? That's all. Why are you scared of being alone?
I'm not scared of being alone. Who said I was scared? That's why I'm trying to understand. Who said I was scared?
So what's the problem with people just want to live a life differently? How is being single alone?
I didn't say there's a problem with people wanting to be single. That was the point of my podcast. I'm asking women a question. Why don't they want to be married? Is the question. I never said there's nothing wrong with being alone. I'm asking why don't they? And obviously this is prefaced around women who do like men, women who do like dating men, not women that want to be incels, not women that want to just completely be alone, right? So I don't think this conversation was exactly geared towards your type or women that are incels, right? So I think you kind of, you came up here to defend yourself, maybe a guilty conscience because you are alone. Right?
Oh yeah. Because I see so many people in the comments that love being single. People think differently. So yes, it's good to hear someone who honestly thinks differently. So yes, everybody doesn't have to have this social norms, these programmings that a lot of people just follow unconsciously. So it's good to hear a new perspective on things. So thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Oh, what's up, man? How you doing? Where you from? I think I seen you on here before.
Yeah, I was in here last night. I'm from Atlanta too.
Okay, another Atlantean. Is that how y'all say it? Atlantean?
ATLian.
Oh, ATLian. Okay, I think I heard that on the Outkast song. I'm not sure. Well, what's good, man? What you got to say?
Okay, so I specifically want to speak to the sister above me. Okay, and I just want to say, like, I hear where she's coming from, and particularly my mother. She was never married. Me and my brother, we have two different fathers. And what I can tell you just from her perspective and how she speaks to us, she totally To say the least, she regrets not putting herself out there and getting someone and allowing herself to be open in a certain way to be loved by somebody. And I know people want to be single and be in their ways and be stuck in their ways. I was like that too. But at a certain point, at a certain age, I'm 26 years old. She said she's 28.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain age, you know, we all want to leave that legacy, like how you were saying, but it's not necessarily material things. I play the guitar. I do a lot of music stuff, but even then, I can leave an album behind, and I know that it's going to go on for more generations when I do leave that lineage. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To say the least, I just encourage you. Is it Tara? Is that how you say your name?
Yes.
Okay, Tara. I checked out your page too. I enjoy your content, but
thank you.
I encourage you just to take a step of faith and just know that there's somebody out there that will appreciate you for you, just how you appreciate you, and art. Yeah.
And he from Atlanta. No homo. I think he's a handsome guy. So hey, listen, you might want to reconsider, baby, being alone.
Honestly, I just value platonic friendships, platonic relationships. So
hey, listen, whatever you want to call it, it's a start.
Yeah.
Let's have some platonic friendships, and then maybe you'll have a relationship that's not so platonic. Whatever you want to call it, baby. But I know you don't want to be alone forever. I'm not buying the cap. I'm not buying it.
That's all I wanted, brother. I just want to speak life to
and you know what? And I appreciate you, brother, because
thank y'all for speaking life into me. But this life is so much meaningful when you do put God first, when you do prioritize yourself, when you do have friends and family. So life is beautiful and fulfilled.
Right. And you know what? I want to say thank you, Chavez, for saying what you said, because you took a different approach. You took a more soft and gentle approach, and you told that, listen, I know it may be hard, things may be difficult, but you shouldn't give up. You should have a leap of faith. And that's the kind of stance that I want to come from, because I think that because I'm saying this, people automatically get defensive, right? I'm not on here trying to be Kevin Samuels. I'm not trying to be like, yeah, I'm going to die alone. My thing is I talk to guys for a living, and guys pay me to speak. And then I'm on the internet and I'm seeing things. And now lately more women. So I'm just seeing, I'm observing, I'm seeing, and I'm speaking to people directly, right? So I like how you came and you kind of kept the same message, but you came in a softer tone and you let her know, listen, it's okay to get out there. It's okay to have a leap of faith, and you don't have to be so defensive. So I appreciate you for that. And that was a really good thing you did. And I hope you get your good deeds for that. I appreciate that, man.
I appreciate you too, brother. Thank you. And continue to spread the good word, bro.
No problem. No problem. See, guys, listen, it ain't always got to be all that. And I think y'all get super defensive talking about, if I say, obviously, when I say, why don't women want to be married? It's the thing that draw you in. But it's the truth, because there are a lot of standards going on, and there are a lot of standards that we don't think critically about, right? And I think a lot of people are just giving up. It shouldn't be that way. And I'm not saying that, okay, you have to be that way, but let's be real. Nobody wants to be alone, right? You can say you have friends, but your friends are not a partner. Your friends ain't going to eat. Let me stop. I was about to say some inappropriate shit. No. Listen. But I'm not talking about sex. I said marriage. Marriage and sex are two different things. No, it's not. No. Time out. Marriage is something different. The only reason that if I didn't have a religion, I would never get married, right? Marriage come from a place of morality, right? A lot of people don't understand that because they don't have that basis. They don't have that reference for morality, right? I get married because I want to make an honest woman out of somebody. I want to get married because I want to have a family. I want to get married because I want to raise children together. It's not always about sex. Yes, sex is a part of it. Yes, I can get sex from anybody easily. I could have sex every day this week. I can have sex every day for the next 3 weeks with a different person if I wanted.
You think that's good?
No, listen to what I'm saying and let me elaborate. I could have sex with every day for the next 2 weeks with a different person if I wanted, but I'm not doing that. Why? Because I have morality. And that's why I'm trying to push a marriage versus just having sex. It's not about sex. I wouldn't be on here talking about marriage. And I don't think you're thinking about that. You're trying to generalize men, with whatever bad experience you've seen, with whatever bad experience you're witnessing, or whatever bad experience you've been through. I'm not generalizing all men. I'm talking from a place for morality. And that's what you're failing to see, right? I'm not saying that, oh, yeah, I just want to have sex. No. Yeah, sex is fun. But I'm talking about marriage, not being alone. Marriage. Why don't women want to get married? You're really, like I said, you don't really fall into the category.
Women can live without sex.
Once again, you're talking about sex, ma'am. I'm not talking about sex. No, I'm not. Getting married is not just about sex. You're choosing a life partner, and I think you're having a hard time comprehending that. It's different. Marriage is a union. It's more than just sex. And then I think a lot of people that in this comments who disagree with me can still agree on that. Marriage is something different.
Exactly. But most people don't know the meaning of marriage. Most people don't even know the roles that you play. Me personally, if I know myself, why would I want to play a role? I have no desire to play a role. All I want to do is be myself. So people have to play a role.